Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Monday the 4th, also known as Labor Day, and today was a beautiful, lovely day to be alive. Got up this morning fairly early, got up, got the dogs outside, all good stuff. Bruce had messed the floor again, messed up his bed cover, love seat cover, what I want to call it. So I got that off the couch, stuck in the washer and stuff, getting that all cleaned up best we can. Got their dogs fed and all the good fun stuff with it. Everybody was getting along, having a good time. Kept everybody quiet as I could. Got Bruce fed, which he's one of the slower eaters out of the pack, which is kind of funny. So, but went ahead, got that all taken care of, and just hung outside for a while until my bride finally got up and started moving around, so I could get back inside and start making a little more noise with the animals and stuff. Took care of everything he'd done. Getting all the medications taken care of and all that good as well. So, but yeah, went ahead from there, just kind of hung around the morning. Didn't really have anything accomplished to go on, nothing really important. Went ahead, just kind of chilling out for the day. We had no doctor's appointment or anything to do, which is always a good time. So let's try here. While I'm making it, I'm going to turn this real quick. This is a brand new house that they built. They are just moving into it, planting a bunch of trees. They got a bunch, they got 4 new big trees there, or 5 big trees, and then some little bushes around each and all that good fun stuff. But this lot had a bunch of big, beautiful, actual majestic trees on it, and they came in, and I don't believe these people did. I think they bought it already flattened, but the person that bought the lot literally bulldozed everything down, 100% flat. And then the house is built, and they started planting these 5 little shitty trees that by the time they are big enough to really give true shade, like these trees right here would do, people who own this house, because they're older, that are living there, they're going to be dead. So you spent a bunch of money to have a bunch of trees took down, and then you built a house, and you spent a bunch of money to have new trees put up, and then you'll be dead before they actually do you any real purpose and good of shading your house and giving you cooler power bills and all that kind of stuff. And there was like a few trees, there's a bunch that are on that little slope right there that it was so bad that all the trees got bulldozed off that before they got around to building the house and putting sod down, there was actually a bunch of erosion even happened because there's a little slope there, which is great because it gives you less likely to be, flooded right here, which is a risky situation as the world changes. But they had to bring in dirt, and actually they had to buy dirt to fill out the land more on that slope to rebuild that slope because it had eroded away so bad. But I don't know, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, that's the first time I saw the trees. They must have just planted them this weekend because I didn't come this way yesterday. So sometime between the last couple of days, they planted those trees. It made me laugh. But went ahead, hung around the house, got my wife all situated in the office and back and forth. And she got a few things accomplished and nothing too major. Everything's going good. Ended up giving back one of the dogs today. The owner came pick up the dog, and she thinks she's canceling her next weekend stay, but she doesn't know yet. She'll let you know. She's like, I'll let you know, by Tuesday and stuff. I'm like, today's Monday, so that'll be tomorrow. She goes, well, then Wednesday. She goes, Thursday at the latest. I'm like, well, you're supposed to drop the dog off on Friday. Like, that's a little fucking late to tell me. But I was like, oh well, so who knows? So we'll see what happens in that whole process. But that went through. The rest of the dogs are doing great. The one old dog, Dawson, he is so old and lumpy and just has trouble getting up and stuff and whatnot. But he wants to play and he wants to wrestle. He still thinks he can wrestle good, but he gets knocked down, and when he gets knocked over, he like screams like he's being thrown off a cliff in a movie. He's like, like he's being murdered. It's funny. And the moment he hits the ground, he's like, okay, I didn't die, I'm good. But it's like he has no idea how far he's fallen over to, because like he just screams out like this weird bark sound. It's so funny. And then once he hits the ground, he jumps back up or struggles to get back up and then starts trying to wrestle again. But been kind of trying to keep Tiki from being quite so rough with him, because Tiki gets a little bit excited and bumps into him and knocks him over, and trying to stop that. But then Dawson comes and starts it up again, so must not be bothering him too much. He's willing to jump back into it and go right back at it again, so who the hell knows. But hung around, just basically chilling out for the day. We ended up just really doing not much of anything. My wife decided she wanted to go outside and just kind of get some fresh air and whatnot, so I went ahead and said, do you want to go out back? Do you want to go out front? What do you want to do? And she's basically, oh, let's go out front. I'm like, okay. So she wanted to go out by the garage. I'm like, that's fine. If you want to come out back, that's fine. I've got to move the dogs into the master bedroom, the master bath there, to bring you out so the dogs aren't out there with you jumping on you. My big fear is her leg sticking out in the wheelchair, and Tiki especially running that leg. So didn't want the dogs out with her, and she decided to go out front instead. So she reached out to her dad. Her dad walked over. Actually rode has a little 3-wheel bike thing that he's been riding around a little bit. So he rode it over to the house because apparently walking down a driveway, crossing one street and walking halfway up another driveway is too far for him. So felt the need to take the bike. Who knows? So yeah, whatever happens. He also reached out after that got all done. She came back in. He went home. She was out there about a half an hour, not quite, but she's like, oh, it's just so damn hot. And I'm like, I've been out here since like 6:15 this morning, and you're complaining about here for almost 30 minutes, and it's so damn hot. And you are in more of a shaded area than I am because the way the sun comes up in the morning and stuff. But I'm like, hey, whatever makes you happy. So she got back in, got a couple other things done. Everything was all good. Father-in-law reached out. I guess the shelf that we got from IKEA that we have all the records on started sagging because there's a big drip in the floor. So kind of, it's one of those situations that, I thought those were sockets, but not. Went ahead and told him, I said, well, I'll try and get other stuff. I'll, see if I can't get it figured out for you at a later time. When Mom was taking some stuff over to him, some Jello or some crap they made for him. So she went ahead, and as she was heading over there for it, well, that's a whole full rear end. There's a whole bunch of parts there. But went ahead, I handed the little bag of shims to the point of, hey, if you want to do it, go for it. If not, I'll go there and get to it best I can kind of thing. So, and she was like, okay. So she took it and dropped it off to him. And he reached out, wanted to know if I was going to come do it. And I said, yeah, hopefully tomorrow I'll get a chance to get over there and take care of it. And we'll see how it goes. So he's got to get all the records off because there's thousands of pounds of records on the shelf. And I can't get shims into it if it's fully loaded. So yeah, a lot of work. The records are they're so heavy. Don't collect shit that's heavy. Collect things like Fabergé eggs if you're gonna collect shit. Collect like marshmallow peeps, things that weigh nothing. Your life will be a whole lot happier. But it is what it is. So got that whole thing to deal with. Went and got my run in. Actually had a buddy of mine stop by. He was in town picking up a check for his company and basically stopped by a few minutes. We chatted a little bit, talked and whatnot. And then he was heading back out and had to go do the things. We were talking about the fact that how we enjoy talking to each other quite a bit. But he's like, it sucks. I don't want to do that hour drive, And I'm like, round trip. I'm like, yeah, I understand, man. I said I had a buddy of mine up in Iowa, and I used to hang out with him and his dad. And at least once a week, I would drive up, and it was an hour each way, so it's twice as far. But I would literally spend all day there, so it kind of justified a little bit. I used to drive a lot more back then. Now I don't drive as much, and I got so many dogs here. Like every day I got dogs here. I can't just run up to his place and hang out either because it doesn't work that way. I just can't leave the dogs here even if you go out to say for an hour, for a 2-hour cigar to chat for 2 hours, it's 3 hours you're gone with that, half an hour each way. So kind of sucks to be gone for 3 hours to have one cigar with a friend, but I need to make more of that stuff happen and figure it out because I've just been sitting here feeling all super isolated. But thinking about Senior and whatnot, and I hadn't seen him in forever, and decided I have to go back to Iowa. We were supposed to go. Karen broke her knee, so we didn't get to go, and it's really been bugging me since then that I was able to get up there because it's been a long time since I've been up there. So definitely need to get back and see them and go from there. So we got done with that. After he left, I went and got my run in, got my shower, got the dogs all fed again, had ourselves a nice little dinner, knocked out a meal, and then was able to watch another episode of Grace and Frankie. It's a pretty good show. I didn't know what it was going to be when I first started watching it because I was like, oh, this is pretty campy. It's going to be kind of shitty, but it turned out to be a really well written, great little story plot lines, a little bit of bullshit here and there, but really good show. Big fan of it. So been enjoying that and headed back out. Enjoyed a beautiful cigar in the evening with the dogs. Actually had a cigar that Junior, buddy of mine from Iowa, gave me, and I tagged him and his dad in the thing. Said, hey, thinking about you guys while smoking the cigar because of the gift I got from them for Christmas. So I'm already, almost 9 months in, into this thing that, since my Christmas gift, I'm still smoking them. So I don't smoke them all the time. I don't smoke them very often, but when I'm really missing Senior a lot, I usually have one of those. So kind of is what it is. But yeah, wrap that up, headed in. Got to be all situated for the nighttime and wrapped it up. Headed to bed and called it an evening. So talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.